Is
I
it?
think it's womankind or something.
That's womankind, that one, yeah. It's rose.
Vanilla
Exotic
and...
vanilla, but I don't know what makes it so exotic. I don't know where it's been.
Saucy?
And cranberry.
Yeah, it'll be Madagascar, you know.
Are you gonna do some?
Yeah, I'll do some at the end.
Oh, okay. Is it me then?
It's you.
It's me.
It's you.
It's Painter.
Painter. Painter.
I don't know.
Painter. You're a painter.
My name is Painter.
Oh.
Yes, it's my surname, but
painting today.
excellent. I usually would be covered in paint, but I've just come from work, so.
Move that so I can
Oh,
capture
sorry.
your visage.
Yeah, I'm so beautiful. Oh my. All right. So let's see. In winter, the radiators all over New York City stop burning, clicking, grinding back to life. An ancient army pulling on their well-worn armor. They begin their battle again, decade after decade, filling every room with the stench of burning dust. When the temperature at night slides below 55 Fahrenheit, the good landlords show up to shovel pathways through the ice packs, to flip that all-important switch that strikes the spark, igniting the city's metal rims. See, warmth in this metropolis is a howling, desperate thing. There are no fireplaces in Washington Heights, none in Harlem, Greenpoint, Bed-Stuy, no way to burn real wood, only petroleum and thin electricity. And where would our make smoke go? Our smattering of ashes, the fading heat from our hands? Who would see it for what it is? This little street-side testament to human soul, like standing, shaking in the snow, smoking last pinch of tobacco in my pouch, carefully tending one burning ember that will never really heat me, but is at least distracting, which is quite a thing indeed when our lot in life is longing. This is a toast to the coldest winter in 10 years, to the holes in my coat, the tears frozen unshed because at least there are shoes on my feet and 3 deadbolts to protect me. I must be getting older. Creation's fire fading. Forgetting to love the chilled nose, the wind down the neck, setting my skin alive with the shivering my very existence. These are my feet that are frozen, my cheeks that sting my jaw, that clenches and clenches. Even I could use reminding of this primal need for heat. Why we always seek a warm corner, a burning body, some clumsy gloves. See, heat is a force increasing, but fleeting, falling so easily back to freezing that over and over we try to hold it, get down on our own knees for it, huddled by the heater praying to any god available. But tonight, it turns out, they've got all their calls on hold. And this little cage below the window is not mine to open, is out of my control. Alone, I can strike no spark tonight. Force no glowing heart to grow, to begin beating, to rise, to meet me, to help shut out the cold. And the landlord's phone has been busy since October. And there's nothing left in the sink but cinders. And the smoke alarm is still screaming. So I rip it off the wall, throw the thing across the room, run down to the deli to steal more newspapers, to read hungrily, and then to burn. I cower in the corner, shivering, quivering with understanding of how little time we have, how a little body heat, some distracting laughter can make a night worth living through, and how to lack these things can teach me freedom, can teach me that there are so many things I thought I wanted, and just a few things I really need.
Very good.
So that's necessity. That's about me learning as a Californian that in New York, they have to turn on the main heater bit or it don't heat. And I was like, what? Little mind blown there. Little warm climate mind blown. Let's see. So,
Wow, that's so
I just had a little vision in my mind of that scene from Beaches, if you've seen it, you know, when she invites her up to the flat and she's got this radiator and she's like, crazy Turk, she's like, send the heat up! And she's like hitting it with a pan. It must be really cold in New York.
I've got to watch the movie now.
Oh, it's so funny.
I was like, that was a little trippy for me because like your phone was going off and the words you were saying were like matching. To,
Yeah.
I was like, okay.
Sorry about that, by the way.
Oh, I'm not fussed.
No, that's just my brain. Like,
I'm used to cappuccino in the background. You know?
Yeah, I always feel guilty when I have to make
Distraction
some
was
beat.
Ah,
Distraction.
Yeah,
Isn't that
distraction.
crazy?
Yeah, I know.
Distraction.
I know. Yeah, yeah.
How like, oh.
Yeah, yeah.
What was the other one?
What was the other one? What is it? Phone call. She actually said something about a call in the middle. Something.
Oh yeah, landlord's phone has
Landlord's
been
phone, and
busy
then
since
that
October.
happened at the same time.
Beep, beep.
Yeah, and it happened at the same time. And the third one was distraction again. No, understanding. The third was understanding after he stopped talking and kept the phone down. She immediately said the word understanding, and I just like had this
Nice.
little weird
See, the
moment.
world's all coming together, man.
Yeah.
I was in Oakland once, and there was a really bad car alarm going off. And there was a free jazz band playing inside, and they started playing with the car alarm, and it's one of the like wonderful experiences in my life. It was like me, and they're like, brr, 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 and I was like, yes, amazing. It is what we make of it, isn't it? You know. Okay, so second one is called 5. The number 5 is printed on me as indelibly as heartbreak, as a scar on my cheek, as my given name. No matter how many times I change it, they still say, is that short for Jessica? I don't need this shit. Change the Muzak station. My eyes are already burning from the truth in every bad love song. And she is still in town somewhere, saying something, just this moment. My muscles can feel the distance between her body and mine, tiny tens of miles. Every cell aching to come closer, to do something crazy. She comes to me as she laughs somewhere, crisp as a photograph, unspeakably lovely, and I will never know if that's just what she's doing at this very moment. If this really is a picture from some shared spirit, I will never know. But I can't say I'd be surprised, because she shows up in front of my house just as I'm stepping out, having had no idea of my schedule or address, and says, hey, I knew I'd run into you. And I knew too. And the universe is laughing at us. Unable to pull our souls apart, minds and bodies racked from the force of it, and hearts. Well, her parents rented her a gray hybrid car, and after one viewing, I am seeing them all over town. Smooth, continuous hood and windshield begging for my back, splashed up against it like water, bruises on my spine from the windshield wipers, and I am seeing them all over town. My breath catching, my treacherous ribs spilling all my insides out onto the sidewalk. Pain and passion smashing through me like an actual wrecking ball every single time. Every time I wait, I lose you again. Consciousness tearing through me like a serrated blade. Your presence fading in the first moment when I realize I was only dreaming and you're on the whole other coast. Every time I wake like this, I would crawl to you willingly. Run to you and beg forgiveness, give up my whole self, and that's exactly the problem. In your presence, I cast this spell upon myself. I forget everything else. Okay, and for the third, I'm going to do my dad's poem, the poem he taught me, Kipling. Not that you're like in favor of Kipling necessarily, kind of bastard, but great poem though. This is Kipling's sort of a version of Drug Trip, where he loses his mind. It's kind of amazing, and I've memorized it, and it has gotten me through a lot of difficult mental times in my life. and the imagery is beautiful if you can follow it. I'll do my best. All right, it's called La Nuit Blanche, which is the White Night in French. Here I come talking to myself as I cook breakfast. Oh, nope, that's not it. Obviously, I want to do that one. That's one of mine. Hold on. No. I had seen as dawn was breaking, and I staggered to my rest. Tara Devi softly shaking from the cart road to the crest. I had seen the spurs of Jacko heave and quiver, swell and sink. Was it earthquake or tobacco? Day of doom or night of drink? In the full, fresh, fragrant morning, I observed a camel crawl, laws of gravitation scorning on the ceiling and the wall. Then I watched a fender walking, and I heard Grey Leeches sing, and a red-hot monkey talking did not seem the proper thing. Then a creature, skinned and crimson, ran about the floor and cried. And they said I had the gyms on, and they dosed me with bromide, and they locked me in my bedroom, me and one wee blood-red mouse. So I said, to give my headroom, you had best unroof the house. But my words were all unheeded, though I told the grave MD that the treatment really needed was a dip in open sea that was lapping just below me, smooth as silver, white as snow. And it took 3 men to throw me when I found I could not go. Half the night, I watched the heavens fizz like 81 champagne. Flight of 6s into 7s, wheel and thunder back again. And when all was peace and order, save one planet nailed askew. Much I wept, because my warder would not let me set it true. After frenzied hours of waiting, when the earth and skies were dumb, pealed an awful voice, dictating an interminable sum, changing to a tangled story. What she said, you said, I said. To the moon arose in glory, and I found her in my head. Then a face came, blind and weeping, and it couldn't wipe its eyes. And it muttered I was keeping back the moonlight from the sky, so I patted it for pity, but it whistled shrill with wrath, till a huge black devil city poured its peoples on my path. So I fled, with steps uncertain, on a 1,000-year-long race, but the bellying of the curtain kept me always in one place, while the tumult rose and maddened to the roar of earth on fire, air ebbed and shrank and saddened to a whisper, tense as wire. In intolerable stillness rose one little star, and it chuckled at my illness, and it mocked me from afar, and its brethren came and eyed me, called the universe to aid, till I lay with naught to hide me, neath the scorn of all things made. Dun and saffron, robed and splendid, came the solemn pitying day, and I knew my pains were ended. And I turned and tried to pray, but my speech was shattered wholly, and I wept as children weep, till the dawn wind, softly, slowly, brought to burning eyelids sleep. Kipling, baby.
Brief, that was good.
Kind of a bastard, good poet. Do you guys want one more, or shall I call it?
More.
One more.
There's not.
Yeah.
There's
Bring it
not.
on.
There's no
You
rush
wrote
from
that.
us. I mean,
Bring it on.
no one's going to
Bring
kick
it
us
on.
out.
Rudyard Kipling.
Kipling.
Kipling, yeah.
Whoa.
I love Kipling.
Him.
I do and I don't.
He
Yeah.
went through some
Yeah.
stuff,
Oh
right?
yeah, the Jabber one.
His
My
son
dad didn't
went
like
to
that
war
one.
and was killed, and he was never used to
I only
be
know,
the
like,
same
one poet
person
from Rudyard
again, 'cause he was
Kipling, to
sort
be
of-
fair.
he was sort of solitary.
That's one that people usually don't know.
Yeah, I didn't know that one.
I haven't heard that one. No.
Yeah, it's a weird one. It really is about him like having a psychotic episode.
Yeah.
Mm.
Essentially.
Absolutely.
Which absolutely, which is like so great though to know that, you know, even people that write and rhyme and meter also lose their shit.
Well, it's usually, I mean, it's usually the case. It's like some of the world, no, most of the world's top comedians suffer with depression.
Absolutely.
This is the
It's
thing,
the other
yeah.
side of the coin.
And I really respect him for putting that out there, and also so beautifully. Like the whole thing, like all the imagery, it just like lost his mind, you know. And that's and then he says, you know, the dawn came, and I slept. It's okay, you know. I love that. Absolutely love that.
Well, I thought it came up like thunder.
Let's see. Okay,
Wow.
I'm gonna do the one that my mouth wanted to do
Yeah.
before.
That was
I thought that was part of the whole poem.
I know it would be. No, it's all right. Here I come talking to myself as I cook breakfast. These graceful motions of efficiency unfold themselves even better as my muscles begin to remember the love of rhythm. And who are we while spinning spatulas? Who are we in the middle of conversation, of complication? Who are we when we give into frustration, or elation, or self-emancipation, or craziness, insanity? And who are we when we are finally able to scream? You paint yourself yellow. You paint yourself, and it's something to remind you of the sun. But what of the moon, I say? Shouldn't it all be in balance while we still have a chance? So you throw down the challenge to rock it harder this time. So I throw down my battles and rock it harder this time. Could we take it higher? And if we could, would we? Could we breathe fire? And if we could, would we? Could we slam it even higher? And because we can, should we? Could we breathe fire? Could we light back up the stars? Could we spin into cascades of water tumbling sunlit? So, all the lips that move in the world in one instant toward each other to kiss, tongues insistent, each with differing histories mixed with little particle of mystery recalling the first touch ever. And how close are each of these on the timeline of love to the loss that at whatever number on the clock always comes? How close are we, love? When will you leave, love? How close are we, love? Please tell me we are far and help me to believe you. I would not deceive you. Could I help it? Always believe you. Cannot help it. So what deceptions are we hiding in the junk drawers of our psyches, below the extra scissors and the paper clips, waiting to stab our mental fingers while we're looking for a pen? Please, come again, love. Give me one more chance to blend, love. Would you take me then and send me, love? Would you take my wholeness and rend me, love? Would you take my mental intestines? And do you really love me, love? Do you really? Are you picking up what I have been putting down for all humanity assembled, cumulatively in still frames from my memory? Have I affected anything at all with all these calls I have dialed into darkness? And in delight, I come stumbling, fumbling for my sunglasses. This is much too much to bear, I say. I can't afford to care, I say. I can't have it be this way, or I will surely fall. But, tearing leaves from profusion on my way, I say, who are we to see this? When we can't even appreciate it, when we're so wholly blind to it because we are busy living lost in it. It's like a shutter that snaps in the mind, snapshots of existence randomly imprinted on tissue, somehow achieving sentience. We are created out of carbon and water and oxygen and the alley just off Lake Street and the man we met with the makeshift mouth heart. This could always be the start of something. This could always be the masterpiece. But to exist only in our own judgment is the hardest thing. We are all built with longing to believe, to perceive, to eat, to sleep, to wrap our hands around, to let go, to really know, to flow. But even so, we struggle with half-thought wonderings, always bumbling when the light peeks in. Try to just hang with it. Till you get the hang of it. Till you hit the slang that's a game of it. Someday you will handle it. Just stand strong. It is a long time to wander, so find yourself a friend and make it into the greatest thing. Tonight's the night. We're gonna go. through the backpacks on the bike rack and floor it. Watch the countryside slide by silently through open windows. Can't you see? It is all right. There is way too much light, but only when you agree to see it. So just believe me, love. I won't leave you, love. If it please you, love. If it please you.
That was beautiful.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Great performance too.
Yes.
Oh, thank you.
It's not just the
We
poem,
could all learn
but
from
it's
your
the,
performance skills.
Oh, man.
Quite
you know.
Shakespearean. Have you performed? Have you done plays and such?
Well, I did go to theater high school, but I didn't act at all. I wanted to, but it's years of performing, and it's also it's also having it off the page, because then it allows you to get different things.
Yeah.
And it's no diss in any way. Like those but it frees you up. Like
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
it's
To-
also it's completely your style and it's gorgeous. Like,
Thank you.
Everyone's got their own style as well. So
yes,
it's
absolutely,
amazing.
and that's what I like. Like I like
Yeah.
your style too, but it's nice to like not be anchored to a thing
Yeah.
because it's in there to
Yeah,
play
true.
with.
Mm.
You know.
You have more expression, like with your movements and your hands and other things. So it's quite nice.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing half the time, which is nice. You know,
Exactly.
things happen,
Your
and you're
arms
like,
know what
woo.
they're doing.
Apparently, I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, this is actually a really nice setting as well, you guys. Like, I absolutely love this. It's like little, and you can kind of hear, and it's not
Yeah.
people going through and stuff.
Yeah.
You know, it's really cool, guys. Let's do this more, yeah.
Yeah, this is hopefully going to be the first of more. We did
I like
quite
it.
frequently at the old cafe, but I don't know, COVID and moving cafes, and
Oh,
I do a
but-
lot of other things like acoustic nights and tarot nights and all sorts of things keep coming and going. And the poetry thing is something I kept meaning to.
It's just,
So-
and it's a really good spot for it because it is like nice and cozy.
I think that at
Exactly.
capacity, I think at the moment 20